And there we go. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. It's your girl, Miss Miss Iha, coming to you live with our second official episode of Journey with Trish. And I have with me tonight Miss Natasha Andrews and Chandrika Hicks, aka Big Fine Drika. All right. So we are going to be talking to y'all tonight, but I'm not even going to tell you what we're going to talk about. First, I'm going to let Natasha introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her. And then we'll have Drika do the same, and then we'll get into our topics. The first topic we're going to have is why didn't I get invited? All right. Go ahead, Tasha. Tell them all about you.
Well, not much to tell. I'm My name is Natasha Andrews. I am a nurse practitioner, primarily for adult geriatric patients in Mobile. I'm director of a company that does home visits, house calls, and I have my own business as well, Connection NP Services. It's a nonprofit, and I'm contracted to do disability exams for veterans. So I do kind of a little bit of everything. I'm involved in a lot of social activities. Um, I'm a member of Jack and Jill. I am in the Condi Explorers. So, and I just love to have fun and spend time with my friends.
Yes, this is my going out, hang out all night friend. And we got Drika over here. Drika, tell them a little bit about you.
I'm a mother too now. I have different occupations. I'm a CNA. I cook. I'm a full time mom right now. Just got off of maternity leave. Um, as y'all know, I'm fun, outgoing. I'm the life of the party. Um, just that's about it.
Okay. You got a little big venture you doing over there. We were talking about it when I first got here.
The cooking.
Yeah, you like to cook?
I do like to cook. I'm still trying to explore what I'm trying to do or want to do right now. So I'm off and on with the cooking.
Okay.
So,
All right, let me go ahead and give you guys our disclaimer. Neither myself, Patricia Reed, aka Iha de Jimenez, Health Assistant out, Chrissy Productions, or Journey with Trish, Natasha Andrew, or any other affiliates or associates are giving you any type of medical advice. If you are in an emergency of any type, whether it be psychiatric or physical, contact your primary care provider, psychiatric provider, or visit an emergency room. Okay, so let's get into it. Why didn't I get invited? So I know I've gotten a lot better, honestly, really not caring as much as I used to. But have you ever been in a situation where you felt like somebody that you were always invited to something, but for some reason you like just never got an invite? Like, did that you ever been through that and it kind of made you feel some type of way? I'll start with you.
I I have several times. Because my husband and I like to throw little parties like at our house. Like, for example, for years we threw a Halloween party at our house, costume party every year. We invited people, and we usually had a good turnout. A lot of people would come, but we started noticing over the years that other people, the same people that would come, would have events, and we were never invited to their events. And we would just hear, like word of mouth. So, at first it didn't really bother us because, we had, maybe he had to work or I was out of town or something like that. So we were like, oh, well, maybe they just knew that we could make it. But after it just started happening a lot with different people, we started realizing that, maybe we need to do things a little different.
How about you, Draco?
that specific topic has been like a struggle for a while for me. Um, Now it don't bother me, but I used to have conversations and with my friends and be like, "Why didn't I get invited? You know, why you didn't tell me or just communicate." There was really no excuse. It was just you just didn't get invited. And it hurt me for the longest. So it's just like, it's a reason why you didn't get invited. It's a reason why they don't want you there. So now it's just, I don't care. I choose not to go. If even if they invite me to the last minute, I won't go because it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be a weird vibe. Like, no, I'm not gonna come. And then you invited me at the last minute, so mm-mm.
Yeah, that
So
usually means they didn't want
they
you.
didn't want you.
No.
Mhm.
So what I started thinking about over the past, and I'm not even gonna say a long time, but maybe like the past month or two, I started thinking about why didn't I get invited. Um, and sometimes I think that people may know you better, not that they know you better in some aspects, but like maybe they didn't invite you, which is kind of the next topic too. Maybe they didn't invite you because they really didn't feel like you were going to fit in with the crowd that they're inviting, right?
And that's most of the time.
Yeah,
It's most of the time.
we are like I'm I throw like really you too
Lavish.
like these lavish parties.
Big party.
Yeah, and so I think that sometimes people may mistake you for being stuck up, you know. Which I always say, I was talking to Shemaya the other day, like I really think I was born in the wrong generation. Like I feel like I should be hanging out with drinking them, you know? Cause that's kind of like I love trap music. Like I love partying, and it's just kind of the way that I grew up. I feel like I've always felt like, when you get your kids to a certain age, I thought that was supposed to be your time to do whatever. But it seems like everybody else my age is getting, well, a lot of people my age got their kids to a certain age and now they just chilling. They don't really want to go nowhere and they don't really want to hang out like I do.
Mhm.
But so if I am throwing something like that, like if I'm throwing a party and I'm playing a bunch of trap music at my house, right? But all your people just listen to R&B, and that's the party you throwing. Maybe you didn't invite me because I don't really jive
Like
with
that. Yeah.
R&B like that.
That's
You ever
true.
think about it that way? Like maybe they just don't
Well,
think you.
yeah,
don't think
because
you
I have had certain, not things that I was necessarily throwing, but things that I might have gone to that I knew certain people wouldn't necessarily vibe with or fit in. And I actually feel bad about doing that because it's kind of being judgmental. And I don't like to be judgmental. So, but I mean, that is true. I mean, you have some people that fit in with better crowds than
Mhm.
others. But I hate to make that decision for someone because I can fit in with the church group and I can fit in with the trap group. So I feel like I'm very versatile, but not everybody is.
Not everybody is.
I
And-
can't agree.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna agree because if you're my friend or I'm your friend, I want to be invited to everything, and I'm gonna invite you to everything I have. I don't care if I have a ghetto friend or a bougie friend. All of us finna be in one room together.
So let's talk about that because we have friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have your friends that you invite to everything. But how many of these people that you invite in are really your friends? Like some of these people are just your associates. You're not
Correct.
really friends with all these people. And I've had to come to the reality recently. I can't invite everybody. Like my pockets ain't as deep as people really think they are. I got this girl at school and she has changed my entire budget. So like my parties have gotten a little bit smaller. Like some of them have been omitted. So people that like you used to me having this party at my house with 40 people, it might be 20 now. But now how I'm gonna choose? Like who are the 20 people that I'm gonna choose? Am I choosing the 20 that invited me
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to your party? Because I am I gonna sit here and not be honest? No, I don't get the invites that I send out, and I often wonder why. But then let's move on to the next topic. Have you ever sat there? We talked about this already, Tasha. Like you sat there and you not really sulking, but just like wondering why am I not getting invited? And so you finally get the invite, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get there, and you like,
This why
This
y'all
what
ain't
I've been
invite me.
missing.
This why y'all ain't invite me.
They already knew. They already knew ahead of time that
yeah,
you were not going to fit in. So you should have just left it alone.
I tried to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
She was just determined. Everybody really doesn't fit in everywhere. I mean, I would say, kind of, you do need to kind of recognize and realize that if you don't ever get invited to something that somebody else is having and you always inviting them, I do think that that's kind of a problem. You don't never have nothing you think that I might fit into.
And it's crazy because it'd be my closest friends that I don't get invited to. So that's when I had to separate myself, even from business, anything, personal life. Like, I had to separate myself because it bothered me. It
So do
didn't
you
bother
want to be
them.
invited to everything or just some things?
They already know I'm not gonna come to everything, but it's the reaching out. Hey, Drake, this is what I'm having today. To, any other time.
It's the thought.
It's
that
the thought.
counts. And it makes you feel good as a friend, as a person, to know that they were thinking about you.
Yes, it feels
enough
good to
say,
be wanted.
Hey, can you come?
Yes, that's it.
I agree. Cause I was real upset, friend, when I looked to see you at the second line ball the other night without me.
She can't talk because there's a lot of stuff I didn't come to in yours.
That's probably true. That's probably true. But usually, if that's because you're like there is
I've been
an
pregnant.
age difference.
No.
No.
I said I was trying to help you.
No, you said you're in. Oh, you said pregnant.
Yeah, most of the
I
stuff
thought
was I was pregnant last year.
Yeah. I thought you said a different word.
Well, in my defense, I was at somebody else's table.
Yeah,
I
she was at somebody else. I was like, look at this heifer sitting up there.
With her new friends.
With her new friends.
That's me. No, she didn't.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I do love to socialize. And it's new for me. I am going to somebody if like you my designated, I'm like, before I buy any other Mardi Gras ticket, I'm gonna make sure I know which balls I'm going, because you don't want to introduce me to it and make me comfortable enough to go to Mardi Gras balls, because I was always very fearful of going to Mardi Gras balls.
I can't say you have been very, very supportive.
I try to be. And as have you. And I know I can always call on you when I got, other than when I'm Lil Mama, set you back for a minute. I do have a good crew of people that I can depend on, and so I am gonna be. I have to be a little bit more cautious with my pockets. So that means everybody just can't get an invite. So if I have something and you don't get an invite, don't take it personal. My list said I can invite 20 people. It personal. My list said I can invite 20 people, and so 20 people is what it's gonna be, and you might not be on the list. Don't take it personal. All right. So what was that next? We talked about not fitting in and why did not get an invite. What was the next thing on our list?
Expectations.
So this to me is a big topic for me. When it comes to friendships, right? Relationships. A lot of people would like to think that you don't want anything from anybody. I'm going into this friendship and I don't want nothing from her. I don't need nothing from her, and they don't need nothing from me. And if you do, is she always trying to come up off of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that when you are looking for a friend, you are looking for something, and it doesn't mean that it's something financial. It might be that I'm looking for a friend that I can talk to. It might be I'm looking for a friend that I can trust, somebody that might be in a relationship to. Like I always tell Chris, me, you and Tasha, we need to go out and have more date nights, more couples nights. So you might actually be looking for something in a friend. So when you start a new friendship, is there anything particular you're looking for in a friendship?
Are we talking about guys?
We're talking about girls. We actually talking about girls.
Okay. Well, no new friends over here.
Friends have been guys when I was younger, but you said no new friends.
No new friends. But the friends that I have now, we've been friends long enough to know what we have with each other. So I have a friend that I know if we go out, she paying for everything. I have a friend that when I need something, she coming. Or I have another friend that we just have a good time just talking. We don't have to go anywhere. We could just sit in the house and just talk. I have different friends for different things.
There you go.
You get what I'm
That's
There
saying?
you
very
hit it
important.
right
That's very
on the
important.
nail.
All my friends aren't the same.
Yeah.
That's it right there. You have to have different friends for different things because all your friends truly don't serve the same
Purpose.
the same purpose. Eunice is not my going out hanging out all night friend. Tasha, I know I can hang out with Eunice to 3, 4 o'clock. I mean Tasha to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
I'm getting old.
If
Maybe
I
like
wanna
one nowadays.
if I wanna break these knees in, I know I can call Drika.
Hmm.
So what say you, Tasha, about that? Because that's true.
It is very true. I do have certain friends that I know that I can call and have certain conversations with. I can't have, I have a friend that me and her have been friends since middle school. So I know if I need to talk about a certain topic or run something by her, I know I can call her. She has been, since, like I said, since 12, 13 years old, she's been the one that has been the most consistent in my life as far as friendships go. Um, Now, what I can say is that I have had some friends that I expected more out of than what they gave me,
Hmm.
because I know myself as a friend, I give 110%. If you need something, I'm there. If you don't even have to ask sometimes, and I would do things. I would just pop up, do this, do that, without you even have to ask me. And I started wanting that, not all the time, but I was just expecting, for you to maybe be there if I need something, if I ask you for something, be there. And it was a friend that I thought that we had that type of relationship, and over the years I realized that we really didn't. And she may have had that relationship with other people that I could see, but she didn't have that friendship with me. And it took me a while to realize that. So once I did, I just had to, like, let that friendship kind of like over there. But
Was it easy?
after a while, yeah, it was. At first I was upset because of what transpired. And I don't want to, get into the particulars, but I needed something. I requested it. She said she would do it, and then she didn't. So it was kind of like that. And I was like, well, I wouldn't have done that to you. And then, it was just like, oh, well, I didn't know that. I didn't realize I did anything. And if you've known me for this long a period of time, you would have known, that this was a problem. But it was obvious that she wasn't paying me as much attention as I was paying her. And so I had to step back and realize that you can't expect you out of everyone.
Mhm.
And that was kind of a turning point in my life.
And it's difficult. Have you spoken it already?
A little bit. Um, I'm like the opposite of her. Like I'm not the best friend. Like I'm gonna be there if you need me. Like I'm just not like the friend that's gonna
Like
over.
go above and
Yeah,
beyond.
yeah. And I cannot tell you why. I don't know why, but that's something I'm definitely praying on because a lot of my friends do a lot for me that I don't reciprocate. Like I don't do. So and it bothers me because like I said, I'm praying on it, but I'm just not that friend. I'm not a bad friend. I'm just not a consistent, like overachieving friend. But
And
if
to
you
me,
need me,
you don't necessarily even have to be. That was just something that I did, but I realized that I was doing too much.
yeah,
I was doing way too much. And it just wasn't appreciated. But long as you can be the friend that I need at that time,
hmm,
that's good enough. And I
yeah,
think that's all your friends really need, long as they know you and know what to expect from you. But it was like I was expecting more than what this person was willing to give me, and I just didn't see it.
gotcha.
And that's why I say, that's where the disappointment comes from because we do like we go into relationships and a friendship is a relationship. And so we go into relationships with these expectations and sometimes we put people on this pedestal and this is what I want you to be, but you haven't really told them, this is what I want you to be, this is what I need from you. And you do kind of have to do that at some point if it's like a friendship, and it may just be that you are doing this certain thing for somebody and then you recognize they're not giving it back. Okay, so if you know you're not comfortable with that, and if you feel like it's something you want to address with that person, if you really need it from, because maybe you don't need it from that person. You know, what I need from you might not be what I need from you. And but if I come to you and I say, yo, if we're gonna be friends like this, I do actually need this. You know, because you come to me all the time and you pour your problems onto me, and I help you, but when I get ready to talk, I ain't got nobody to talk to because you over here listen to so and so's problem. So can you be that friend for me?
Mm-hmm.
And I said it last week. You know, when it comes time for me to say, you know what, this ain't really working out. So I got to come back to Natasha and say, Tasha, you know what? I told you several times that you did this, this, and this, and you keep doing it, and I don't feel comfortable with that. And so now, 3 months down the line, Tasha, like, oh, you know, she ghosted me. Nah, I ain't ghost you. I told you 4 or 5 times that was like that wasn't cool with me, and you keep hurting my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't gotta come back and give you the courtesy of telling you I'm done with you when I already told you if you keep hurting my feelings, I'm done with you. So now I'm just out. So
Mm-hmm.
it
That's
might,
me.
yeah.
I had a friend like that. Like, we're still cool, but I've had several conversations with her about, oh, you showing this person more attention than me. Like, you not hanging out with me. We stand not even a second from each other, and I don't see you. Like, we've had multiple conversations. Nothing has changed. We still distant. We don't have anything against each other. We just are. We're not as cool as we used to be.
And sometimes you have to accept that you just do grow apart
Yeah.
in certain relationships. It don't mean I got a problem with you or they got a problem. I say this all the time. Like I've had somebody, or I was in a car. You know, this was actually family. We were riding in the car, and I made the comment. They were talking about somebody, and I said, I don't talk to so and so. And what I mean was, I don't talk to her. Like I haven't talked to her. You know, and they took that like, oh, Trish said she ain't talking to you. No, I never said I'm not talking to her.
Yeah, like y'all
Me and
had
her,
beef.
yeah, we ain't got no beef. We don't talk on the phone. We don't communicate. I don't have no beef with you, but we don't talk. And sometimes that like it's a difference between we don't talk, and I might be intentionally not calling to talk to you. That might be intentional, but it don't mean if I see you, is we still, hey, what's up? Like keep moving.
It's not on site.
Yeah, it's not. But no, I'm not.
Sometimes
But I listen.
I'm changed.
I'm able to be cordial with everybody at this point. I can be cordial, but what I won't do is fall back into the same situations that I've been in before. And sometimes like it's a little too raw too, you know. It's almost like being in a relationship with a guy and you break up, right? And so if you still keep going over there, it's harder and harder for y'all to
Separate.
separate.
Right.
And so you have to be the same way, I believe, with female relationships. Or sometimes you will suck yourself back into something that you worked so hard to heal from.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. We get older, we grow apart. And so that's what I mean about the expectation part of it. I do think that you need to know what you are expecting from each different friendship, from each different kind of relationship. It might be that that's your dog that we just go out. That's all we do is go out, hang out. We go this me and Keisha go and meet at Big Bob's, cause Big Bob's restaurant or something every Thursday at 2 o'clock. We throw back a couple shots and we go to the house. That's what we do. We kick it and have a good time, but that's the nature of our relationship. But now when I got some problems, like I said, I can call and I can talk to Tasha. Same the other way around. It might even be that she talks to me, but Tasha might be the person who don't give out the greatest advice, right? So maybe she does just come and talk to me, but I can't talk to her. But we're fine that way. But some
I
people
do give good advice, though.
you do, you really do, you really do. But some people have a problem with that too. Like, oh, I ain't finna go tell her all my business. She don't never tell me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What you
I've
gonna
heard
do
that
with?
before,
What you
yeah.
do? You really know what to do with it? Like, you ever felt like you was
I've
telling people too much?
always said that. I'm like, what they gonna do with the
Yeah,
information
what you
when they
got-
find out?
What you gonna do with it?
You got 5 bedrooms.
Like,
in
how
your
can you
house.
help me?
Like, okay, what am what am I gonna do with that?
Mm.
That's how some people are.
Mm-hmm.
You been there too?
Girl.
So,
Yes.
and here's another thing we'll talk about the fact that, and I know for me, sometimes I may seem kind of wishy washy because I'm telling you, talk to a medical professional. Don't go tell your family all your business. Like, you got there is like a thin line, but I don't expect for anybody to sit there and keep your feelings bottled up and never have anybody. You just got to learn who is your person that you can trust enough to take your information to and them do the right thing with it, right? You cannot keep that stuff to yourself because that's what's happening in our community. It's too much house business.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much stuff that's staying in the house, and you not only are you not telling a good friend or a family member that you trust, you also ain't going to talk to a therapist. You ain't talking to your PCP. So who you gonna tell? You just sitting in the house and keeping it down. You're not even writing it down. Like you're not even journaling.
You have to be careful though who you talk to because
That
I know
that's just it is a thin
'cause
line.
Mhm.
years ago, honey, I was trying to find that person that I can confide in and talk to and vent and all of that. And I told a couple
Wrong
wrong
person.
people, and next thing you know, the whole state knows my business. So
And that's really sad, y'all. If somebody come to you and confide in you and you take that and run with it, is really sad. But you gotta find the person that you can tell. Do you have a person?
Ebony.
Oh,
It's a few. I have more. I have Ty. Ty and
okay,
Ebony is my main go to. Main go to girls.
okay.
Like Ty's gonna be the one that's gonna tell me what I need to know. Everything.
That's
Like
because she my
she
baby. She get that from me.
raw. And Ebony, she gonna tell me, but she gonna be a little nice with it. Ty is just on the rough end. Like she gonna be like, Drake, you need to do this, you need to do that. I don't care how you feel. Do you need me to pull up? Like that's my go to.
I know you got some people that you can
mhm.
talk to. Um, and I have this year, and I told you one of my words of the year is love, because I am learning to speak more in love because I can get kind of rough. You know, in my advice giving, I can get downright grimy sometimes. But I had to learn that somebody come and tell you something, and then you like, oh, she might not come to me and ask me not another thing because she don't listen to nothing. I like what you asked me for. You ain't gonna do what I tell you. That is not what advice is. Advice is exactly what it is. It's I am asking for your opinion, and you are giving me your opinion. But I may have also asked Drika's opinion
Mhm.
and Tasha's opinion, and then I get to choose who opinion I actually want to take.
Right.
So if you're kind enough to give somebody your advice, you got to recognize that that's all it is. They do not have to take that particular. They might not take anybody's advice.
But sometimes I'm not talking to you for your advice. Sometimes I'm just venting. I just want to vent.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
want no advice because I'm not
That's
half of the
true.
most of the time I'm already knowing what I need to do.
Yeah. You
But
just want somebody to listen.
just listen.
Yeah.
Now, if you get to a point where you're trying to tell me what I need to do, we finna get in an argument because I ain't asked you for this. I said I need to talk. I didn't say we need to talk.
But I started asking. I'll sit there and I listen to the whole story, and they'll be sitting there, and I'm like, and they sitting there. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Are you telling me this because you want me to listen, or you want me to respond and give you,
You
my
did that
opinion?
last time I talked to you.
Yeah, the last time.
Did.
Because I want to know. Because sometimes you do give advice, like you just calling me to vent, but now I'm telling you what you should. Is that my car? No. I'm telling you what you should and shouldn't do. So I asked, okay, so you want my advice, or you just want to vent? So maybe that's something it would be my recommendation is that you actually ask somebody.
I'm
what they're
telling you
looking
before
for.
the conversation start. Either I want your advice or I don't. And if you give it anyway, we finna get off this phone.
You ever get tired of hearing the same thing over and over again, though?
I do, but you still gonna listen.
And it's always when it's new, people are going to talk about it more though, because that's
Mhm.
grief, and that's what you do when you grieve, and is you talk about something over and over. Like, what you call it on Love and Hip Hop? Oh my God! If Erica talk about what's his name?
Safari.
If she
Safari,
say
yeah.
Safari name one more
That
time,
woman's
I'm
still
gonna
in love
lose
with
it.
that man.
Safari, Safari. Oh, I'm divorced. I'm the girl. I don't want to hear nothing else about Safari, please.
And it's crazy because I don't even watch Love and Hip Hop no more. But I see all the I know all the I know everything that's going on because of just, Instagram and the shade room.
Oh my gosh,
So.
I'm so glad that they good. Well, not good. Whatever it is, I'm tired of hearing about Safari. So it can be difficult being a friend to. Not difficult, but it can be overwhelming sometimes. Um, and so here's the thing. Let's talk about this again. I think we touched on it a little bit last week. Uh, like I said, people not willing to continue. Everybody keeping it on Facebook. I'm not putting up with your BS this year. So if you got these problems, I need you to do what I need you to do to address your problems because I am not going to put up with your nonsense for another year. And so today I think I posted something like, what did I post? Pull up my thing. Let me read it.
I
But
don't know which one was it. Was it this one?
oh,
You cannot.
it was about justifying people's behavior all the time. I said you cannot continue to justify people's behavior. That's just how they are. It's no longer acceptable. They don't mean nothing by it. It's no longer a pass. They don't know no better. It's no longer valid. Their trauma does not belong to you, just like your peace does not belong to them. So we do like it. It affects me when I'm constantly allowing you to mistreat me because of what you've been through. I don't deserve that. I didn't do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I need you to, after all this time, either you address your trauma and try to do something about your trauma and try to heal from your trauma. I don't want to hear about your trauma no more. And I'm definitely not going to be your punching bag. I'm not going to be the person that you get to come and mistreat and keep saying, he don't really, you know what he been through. He don't mean nothing. Nah, it doesn't matter. It still affects me. It's not fair for you to bring down my mood and my like sometimes people's even self-esteem can really affect yours if you like being around negativity all the time is very consuming.
Mhm.
So what are you doing in 2023? Are you still putting up with nonsense? Or are you expecting people, or even if it's something you're going through, are you willing to make the change this year? Or are you just gonna keep doing it and dealing with it?
I'm on a 21 days of fasting and scripture and with God basically. And that's one of the things that I have on my short term and long term. I'm not putting up with, you know, have blank stuff anymore, like at all. Like I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna keep taking the same things I took last year. I'm trying not to speak on business, but
I get it.
I'm just not gonna do it. All last year while I was pregnant, I was at my lowest. When I say lowest I've ever been, and I've been low, but it was my lowest. No, the friends that I thought was gonna be there wasn't there. Some of the relationships I had, I don't have anymore. And family, I'm not even gonna speak on that, but that's a big issue. I'm not putting up with family and their disrespect just because they're older. Like I can't say anything because I'm younger. It's a bunch of things. Like it's just I'm a new drinker. I'm not even big fine drinker no more.
Oh, we ain't big fine.
I forgot to tell you that. I'm not even big fine drinking no more. I'm on a new leaf because not because I'm 30. It's just I need a change, a bigger change.
Okay.
I'm on a whole 360. So
Bigger drinker.
bigger drinker.
Bigger drinker.
I like it. I like it.
How about you, Tasha?
Um, I am trying to be, I'm usually a very positive person. So I want to continue my positive journey. Um, I try not to let a lot of things get to me, and I am working on that. And I know 10, 15 years ago, I would go off like badly.
That was
On
me last
people.
year.
Yeah. So the growth is there because I have come a long way, but I'm trying to be more positive. Um, I deal with a lot with my job and a lot of disrespect from, others. Um, so I try to let that roll off because I have found that if you are a blessed individual, and I feel like that I am,
Definitely favorite.
blessings will come, and no matter what someone tries to do to me or throw at me, it never lands, it never sticks.
Mhm.
And that has been happening at least for the last 6 months since I got this promotion. They have tried, they have come for me, they have, told lies about me, the whole nine.
Mhm.
And it never works and never sticks. And I feel like as long as I keep moving in a positive direction and keep doing what I'm supposed to do and do right by other people, and as they say, what would Jesus do?
Mhm.
And live my life in that fashion, everything falls in line.
Because you got to realize that when you are on a journey, right? When you're on a journey to healing, a journey to a new you, there is a whole world of people around you that is waiting for you to fall or turn back around. They really don't think
Absolutely.
that you're going to complete this journey. You know, you've said it before. Oh, you said the same thing in 22. And she's been saying that since 17 and she ain't did it yet. Don't listen to those naysayers. And it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. This journey that I have been on has been 2 years going now, and the bulk of it was last year. Last year, you would never be surprised at the torment that went on within me and in my household. The entire, well, I'm not gonna say entire, but from like January when I started till 20 up till 20 till like October. um you don't know what somebody is going through, and so our job is to be encouraging, to when somebody says they want to change in a certain aspect in their life, to how can I help? Even if it's just praying for it, it might even just be staying out of my way, just stay out of my way. But yeah, it's a lot of people that don't expect you to make it, but you can't focus on them. Like I talk all the time about, small business owners. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult being a small business owner, and people are not liking and not commenting and not sharing. But you got to focus on the people that are,
Mm-hmm.
instead of focusing so much on the people that are not. Because if I am one of your supporters and I am sharing everything or commenting or I'm buying, from you, but all I see you doing is going on there cursing everybody out that ain't, like it
I'm gonna
tease.
walk away.
Yeah, like I don't even want to support you no more because you ain't even told me thank you for the share that I did give you because you're so busy mad. What, my share ain't good enough,
Right.
you know? And so I think that everybody needs to start, like, just be more focused on the positive part of it. And the positive is going to come to you, but you're going to lose a whole lot if everything you're doing is totally focused on the negative, because the people that are positive are not going to want to deal are not going to deal with you. And it's the same thing with us personally. Like, just focus on the positive. Don't worry. Don't focus so much on the people that you thought were going to be. I tell you all the time. You think your family is going to be there?
Mm-mm.
They are not. It
Absolutely.
does not mean that they don't love you. It does not mean that they don't love you because they don't show up for everything that you do. It might not just be their thing. Your vision is not your vision. I'm gonna let you hold on. Your vision is not everybody's vision. And so you do have some people that, yes, are going to intentionally show up for you, even if it's not, but it is not going to be a bulk of them. Now we already know that Jesus had to go through the same thing. So what makes you any better than he was? Go ahead, because somebody got a press and something to say over here.
Well, that's true. I'm glad you said that
Mhm.
because now I'm a tread lightly on my comment that I was just gonna say.
Mhm.
That's true.
You expect for your family to be the ones, but they are not going to be. You just got to accept that.
And when I say that, I'm not talking about mom, dad,
Mhm.
brother, sister. I'm talking about other family members. I have family that has never shown up, never supported, never done anything
I know
ever.
exactly what you're going through.
Like,
Absolutely.
and I still don't know to this day.
Taking it personally.
Last year I did, and it got to a place that it shouldn't have never been, or got to. But this year, since I'm doing a lot of healing, I'm asking God to help me forget I have already forgave, but help me just to forget it now because it's still on my. The longer I think about it, I'm gonna continue to be angry. I don't want to be angry about it.
You're not gonna forget it though, because it did happen. So forgetting is like almost like saying I'm gonna forget it ever happened. It did happen, and so you can forgive, and you might even keep it in the back. Because I say you need to remember enough not to put yourself through it
Right.
again. Yeah, you
Right.
got to remember some of it so you don't go back. Because it's almost like I say when you in a bad relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you first break up, you can't stand this person. Everything about them is wrong, and you feel horrible on the inside. But then you start healing, and you like, maybe he wasn't that bad. He was. He really was that bad to you, but because you're in a better place, you trying to forget the fact that they were really. Don't mean that they didn't change. Let them change, but let them change for the next person that they're gonna be. But it don't always have to be that they're gonna change. Forgiveness don't mean we get back together. Forgiveness just begin. I gotta forgive you so I can
Have some peace.
have some
Mhm.
peace.
Right.
You gotta. I'm telling you, if you that's the biggest way to be disappointed, because if God gave you a gift that He has for somebody, He's gonna give you an audience, and you gotta accept the fact that that audience is not always gonna be your family.
My cousin told me something. I was talking to him last week, and I said, you know how people always say blood is thicker than water, and I said that is so not true because I have friends that are closer to me and have done more for me than certain people in my family. And he said, yeah, that's true. He said blood just makes you related, it doesn't make you family.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my god, that is so real. Because I can tell you, I can name on one hand how many family, besides, my parents and grandparents, how many family members have really, really, truly been there for me. And the ones that I thought should have been there for me and that I had the utmost respect for let me down the most. And it's hurtful. It really, really is. Because I grew up, I'm like family, 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 100%, like 10 toes down all the time. And it just, once I got to be an adult, I realized it's not like that.
Mm-hmm. I realized that last year, literally. And I know you said try not to forget it. I got to. I got to because I'm on a different journey. I'm on a different type of time right now. So if I continue to think about it, I'm only going to get worse.
So that's not the same though. I didn't say. I said you're not. I said you're gonna forgive it, but you're not gonna totally forgive it because, forget it. Because if you forget it, you're more apt to allow somebody to do it to you again.
Okay.
Because you don't remember that they did it to you now, and so now here they come. You having a pop up shop or something, and you see them at the store, and you invite them, and they what, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. And so now you all excited because you forgot they ain't come the last time when they said the same thing to you. And so now you put your faith and trust in them, and then you looking around for them, and guess what?
They're not there.
They ain't there. But if you already remember, you hear them saying, "I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there," and you're like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." If you come, it's great. But if you don't come, I got 400 people in here that did. I'm gonna focus on them 400 people that showed up for me, and not pay so much attention to the ones that didn't.
Right.
It takes time to get there.
It does.
It took me like a year or two. Real talk. It took me like a year or two to really get over how hurt I was that I was done that way. Because I felt like I didn't deserve it, because I had been there for them. I had done this and done that. And then they were just like, so. But it does. Trust me, it gets better.
So stop thinking of your journey like it's an airplane. Just get on the jet. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, because the airplane you can, you go on this how you say it,
740,
30, one of them numbers on them big airplanes with all of these people. But if you got a jet, this your own private jet, so you can't fit everybody, or you cannot take everybody with you.
Right.
And if you take that whole big plane, you gotta expect them they're gonna have to pay for some of their own stuff, and they ain't paying to get on that big old airplane and go all the way over there with you, and you ain't gonna pay for them. Right. So if I gotta
pay you back,
you gotta pay for everybody. Let's at least go in luxury. So I say take the ones. I say that all the time too. Remember the ones who, when you were in your little hoopty, the ones who packed all your stuff up in your car and their car too, because you didn't have enough room in just your car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now y'all traveling to whatever you doing to drop off these plates, and it was there for you. Remember the ones who was with you when you moved over to the food truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
They passed out flyers. Them the ones you're gonna rock with you still when you get your restaurant. When everybody else trying to now get in free and come sit down at the table, them the ones that gotta pay to get in.
Double.
Double, double. Remember the ones who was there for you when you was struggling, because those are the ones that help you made it. The ones don't pay so much attention to the ones that just do not. It's not, and it's not everybody thing. Listen, I'm never gonna say that my family doesn't love me. I do believe that my family really, really, and truly loves me. I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff. And so, like, my aunties are older. Do I wish that they would show up for me a whole lot more? Absolutely. I don't have my parents anymore. And so, a lot of times, and people ask me, like, where's your son? Where's your cousin? Where's your... Because it's just me. Like, I will literally be in this whole big old building and have no family at all. That's not a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But am I going to have a good time? I've learned to.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to. That tea last year was the hardest event that I ever had, because other than Shemaya, I didn't have any family at the tea. And there were some people that I really, really expected. And I'm telling you, it was a really, really big lesson, because there are some people who everything that I've ever worked for in my life, I always worked for it. If I plan something, it's like if I'm thinking about starting a business, I'm always like, if it's like something, I'm like, all right, Tasha, we're gonna do this, this, and this. Or someone's Eunice, we're gonna do this, this, and this. And so I had to learn that, okay, you gotta start designing some stuff just for you. And not thinking that every time you design something, you're gonna be able to design it for everybody to come with you. Because it got me thinking that I always had to have somebody there. So when I spoke at like
The luncheon.
when I spoke at the luncheon, and I was expecting for, I'd asked somebody else to come with me, and then they didn't come with me. And so I'm like, oh, well, dang. And so that's now I'm like, okay, Kristen, you got to come with me. And so God had to work with me then. He's like, okay, well, Tasha's going to be there, but what if you were somewhere else? Like, what about when you get that call? And so, and they say, I need you to come and speak in Atlanta on January 31st. And can't nobody go with you, but you just not going to go. So sometimes you got to just learn how to be comfortable. I believe God puts you through these situations so you can learn that some of these places you're going to have to go
Alone.
by yourself, and do it. You got it?
I got it.
It's not that your family doesn't. I do believe your family loves you. I know my family loves me. I know they do. They just don't. What do I wish they was more supportive? But I would literally never do anything, and I would not have grown to be like do the things that I've do and accomplish what I've accomplished if I was only focused on the fact that I have no support. I know my mama would have been at every single event, and so I know when I go, if ain't nobody else there, you know who's there?
Yep.
Me and my mom and my daddy every single time.
That's why that song played.
That's why that song played. They there every single time. So that's what it is. Anybody else want to add anything? Really about anything?
I think we covered a lot.
I think we did cover a lot. I hope y'all learned something tonight. The take home tonight, I think, should be you got to know what your expectations are of a relationship in order for you to be able to share that with somebody. Don't hold them responsible all the time, though, if you didn't even tell them what you're expecting out of them. So try to have that conversation. I do think we need to stop going so long in these relationships, allowing the same thing to happen repeatedly over and over again, and not addressing it, or forgiving way too many times. Sometimes you got to know when it's time to, and let's move on. It might end better if you do it that way. My personal opinion is, once you've already told somebody repeatedly and they continue to do it, you don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them the courtesy of saying goodbye.
Mm-mm.
If I already told you, I'm out if you continue. What else? What was the first topic we had?
Why didn't I get invited?
Why didn't I get invited was the first topic. So to close that one out, listen,
You're not there for a reason.
you're not there for a reason. You might not even fit in. There's nothing like finally getting there.
You
and
may not
wondering
even
why I'm
like
there.
it.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And you ain't got to invite everybody either. Listen, I will be more financially responsible this year, so everybody will not be getting an invite, and there will be $1,000 parties this year, just to let y'all know, unless there's a ticket attached. Don't mean I don't love you. It just mean the University of Alabama is on me right now. It is what it is. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Nick Saban. Anything else? What was the other last? That was it.
That was
Spitting
it.
in. That is it. So that's it. Like I said, guys, journeys are that because that's what they are. They are not something that happens overnight, and it's not even something that's going to happen in a 21-day fast. That's some time for you to do some soul searching, some journaling, some reflecting on things that have happened, and
An acceptance.
an acceptance of things, so you can go on in your journey, and then just keep going and don't focus on the negative, focus on the positive. Don't hold so much against people, and I don't mean that you need to lower your standards or lower your expectations. Sometimes we just have to learn to expect them from different people. All right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So y'all know we're gonna have to close this thing out in prayer, and then that's gonna be it. Oh, vision board party, please, y'all. This is the last week to get your vision board tickets. The vision board party is Sunday at PS Taco in West Mobile at 6 o'clock. $15. Gets your $15 donation, gets you all of your supplies. All you need to do is bring your magazine. They will have the bar open and limited menu. You can get your tickets at www.healthassistout.com. They do have some paper tickets at PS Taco. I have some paper tickets. You can call me, you can text me, you can inbox me, whatever you need to do. Tell all your friends about it. Share this live, like, comment, share, whatever you need to do so we can reach as many people as we can. We'll be back next Tuesday at, we'll let you know, it'll be 7 or 7:30. Mia in production got to figure that out. What time is going to be for next week. But our topic next week is actually going to be surviving infertility and rainbow babies is going to be our main topic. So come on back next week. If you know somebody that is dealing with that right now or somebody who has overcame that, come back next week, same time, same place. All right, all hearts and minds are clear. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come to you right now as humbly as we know how. God, we are thanking you right now because we know that there is going to be some healing to come from this. God, we ask that you clear all hearts and all minds, and God, give us some acceptance, Lord. Give us some forgiveness. Allow us to forget some things, but remember enough so that we don't allow them to happen to us again. We know that you are responsible for our greater later, and we're claiming it and we accept it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. I love you. God bless y'all. Good night.
Good night.